This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Today we'll see this about the conditions. So the conditions conditions is a choice. Conditions is like there is a single line if condition is there, normal if condition is there, decision flow is there, and switch and flow switch. These are all the condition activities. Okay. So if you have any decision making situation like so wherever we have a how to check the data is there or not, or suppose let's create a small mm, Excel file. So these are TP values. So we'll see that some TP values. Okay, so there is some TP values is there. And okay, so what we can do, we will save this one into the. I'm just saving in the desktop. So day 17. So what the robot has to do, robot has to just imagine, robot has to fill the information like a here based on the some conditions. So what are all the conditions? The conditions is like if TP value is uh, i- is empty, then no data. Okay, so TP value is is greater than 800 or 700, then too high. Okay. These are all the conditions. Okay, these conditions in the requirement TP value is greater than 100 and less than 700, then high. Okay, TP value is greater than 50 and less than what is it 100, then it's a normal. Okay, so TP value is less than 50, then it is a low. TP value is less than, these are all the some conditions, see here, and greater than 10. Okay, 10. So less than 10, then it is a too low, right? So these are all the conditions. So we have to fill. So these conditions, I'm just keeping these conditions in the business requirement. There is a lot of conditions are involved. So if it's empty, then it has to update the corresponding status value status, and that is like a status is like a, so what is this status? 23. 23 comes under this one, so it's a low, right? So 34 is comes under this one only, low. 90 is comes under this one, normal. 123 is comes under this one, high. Empty, this is a empty is a no data, right? So these values, the status has to update based on the numbers. So that has a lot of conditions, right? It has a lot of conditions. Then, so we can use the if condition normally. So let's read the range. Read range. Just use a workbook read range. Read range. Browse the Excel where you have to. Where is the Excel? Day 17 and this one. And sheet 1 is a sheet 1 only. So I'm just saying that empty. Give the empty. So if you give the empty, so that it will automatically extract entire data. TP dt underscore TP. Okay. Now once we just create a one data table using the read range, the output of the data read range is a data table. So data table object. So here this is a data table. So data table means it's like a the data which is there in the memory. Are you able to getting my voice? Here it is showing that's a network issue. Hello.
Yes, we did.
Okay. Okay, now so we'll use the if conditions. Okay, so we'll use the if conditions, and also so what we can do like a two things. So process tree. Okay, there's another column process tree is there. So it's a yes, no, yes, 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 no, yes, no. Okay, so this is whether it is a process to be TP value is a processor or not. This simple dummy data. Okay, here also no. Okay. Okay, now what we can do, we will use the for each row. So if you want to loop each and every row from the data table, so you have to use the for each row. So DTTP, that is the output of the read range. So let us try to get the values. So we're using the if condition, or it is better to store the values in the one temporary variable. Okay, int int and what is that, a TP value. So that is an integer, or just keep it as a string first of all. Add var TP value to store the TP value from here. Okay, so I'm just var TP value. So here row of 0 dot to string. Okay, so you can use a 0. 0 means it is a column that starts with a 0, 1, 2, like that. Okay, so you can use a 0, or you can give the column name, either one. Okay, anything is fine. Now, so 0 we are just storing into the this value, right? This value. So we're just checking if condition, if var TP value, we have to check whether it is a greater than or less than these things and all we have to check, right? So if you just use that the same condition one by one, first of all, so let's go from this. So less than 10. Okay, less than 10. So it's a less than 10. basically as it is a string. So this variable is a string, right? Let me make it as a integer. The problem here is let's convert then to C int, convert this into the integer. Now, if this is less than 10, then we have to update into so the update status also, what we can do, not updating everywhere. So we're just taking the update status also. So where update status, some string, okay, some string. So I'm just taking the same thing here initially for every uh, record empty. I'm just keeping the empty here initially. Okay. So what we will do, we will update the status here at the end where update status equal to. So what is that? Too low, right? In the double quotes. Is it too low? So if condition is done, it's okay. So if condition is like a if is one activity. So where basically where you can uh, use a condition. There's a three blocks are there. One is a condition block, and there is a then block, and there is a else block. The condition block has the condition expression. You can give the expression by using the any operators like here. So we learned some operators like here, arithmetic operators, right? Logical operators, relational operators. This is all we learn, right? Where we learn what is it, operators, yeah. So we learn that arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, right? So these all a combination. So you can give the combination of these things, but at the end we have to keep in mind at the end, so the result of entire thing so should be boolean, should be matched with this boolean. Okay, got it? So you can give the suppose and so the status is less than this internal, but at the end, so the whole result should match with the boolean value. Either it has to come true or false. Okay. So if the condition is true, it will go to the then block. If the condition is false, it will go to the else block. So else again, you can just drag the if condition again. Okay. Suppose if it is a less than 10, it will go here. Otherwise, you go here, so not less than, that means greater than 10. Then you can use a where if value is greater than 10, equal to 10, and where TP value is less than, what's that, 50, right? 50, less than 50, that is a low. Then use the same thing here as an operator in the then blocks. If this condition is true, it will go and execute the then block. Whatever you are, just drag and drop that then block. So whatever the code is there, that will execute. So we're just updating the status to the corresponding status there. Next again, so if it is a not match, then we go to the else block. So just drag again another if condition inside the if condition. See, so we just if within the else, again if within the else of this one, again if. Okay. So where TP value is greater than or equal to 50 and where TP value is less than 100. Okay, this greater than, just keep in mind, this greater than or equal to is a one single operator. Don't give like this. Greater than space equal to. Okay, don't give like this. Greater than or equal to, you have to combine those things. Okay, now what is the condition? So less than normal. This is the normal. Okay, if it is normal, track the assign activity where update status equal to this one. Okay, Again, if condition where TP is greater than or equal to 100 and so where TP value is less than, what is the next condition? 700, right? 700, 700, then it is a high. So do the same thing here, condition where TP is greater than or equal to 700 and is there anything is there? There is only greater than or equal to, right? That's a too high. Too high. Okay. So this is the conditions. I'm just naming the headings so that we can understand easily. Okay, just headings. I'm just changing. It's not like a normal if condition, right? Normally it is a everything is a if like that, right? So if any error occurred, so it will say that so occurred in the if condition. So we have a lot of if conditions where it error occurred. We don't know, right? So that's why if you can have a proper naming of the headers, or you can just give the greater than or equal to in the English words. Okay. Now see, this is our if condition. So after completing these if conditions, we will get the value of the where update status. We will update the same thing here in the right cell. So we learned already about the index. Okay, the IDX. I'm just using the same Excel path, and the cell is like a, so what is the cell here in the sheet one? C2, right? Here this is a C, and the value is a where update status. C, right? C2, C1, so that's why we're giving here index IDX. So IDX is integer, but it will start from the 0, 0, 1, 2, every iteration it will increase. So what we are doing, so IDX is a 0, right? Plus 2 dot toString. Okay, because why we need the 2? So in the initial C2, right? C2, this is the C2, C3, C4, right? So IDX is increasing from the 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay, so if it is a 0, 0 plus 1 is a 2, C2 you become, so next iteration is a 1, 1 plus 2 equal to 3, C3 came, right? That's why we are giving the this one to update line by line. Okay, now let's close this one. So we don't have any data in the status. Let us try to see expand this one. See here, if condition less than, if condition less than here, then else block, it will go here. There's no else, right? That means else is empty. So one thing is so you can just leave the else also. Sometimes the requirement, based on the requirement, you can leave it the else, so without doing anything also, that's not a problem. Okay, so some people they think like, so if you use the if conditions, we have to fill the then block, and also we have to fill the else block. So that's not mandatory. Okay, so the conditions are like that. So if you have this much number, then you have to do this thing. Okay, that is the thing. So the other than that, we're not doing anything. Okay, we're doing nothing. Okay, in the else condition, that type of things you can just ignore in the else condition. That's not a problem. So that's not mandatory to fill the else condition also. See here, we ignore the else condition here because we don't require any else conditions. Everything is covered here, greater than. Okay, now just try to run. There is some error occurred. So what is this? Conversion from string to integer. Okay, conversion from string to integer. So what is the problem? Why it is having the issue? Just give the message box here and type the row of 0 dot to string, and let us see whether it is updated or not. So it's a day 17. Open that Excel. Oh, here it is updated properly. Okay, so up to few places. Okay, but the problem is there. Where? What is the problem here? Why it is unable to convert the string to integers? Type in the chart window. So what is the problem here? It's empty, right? It's empty. So it is unable to convert the empty value to the integer. Okay, so we just use the integer convert dot c int of row of 0 dot to string, right? So it is coming in, if it is coming as 2 or 6, any number, it will convert easily and doing the process perfectly. Okay, so if it's a empty, it's unable to convert these two integer. So what we can do now in that situations? So anyway, we have a one more condition that we are not covered. So we'll try to cover that one. Okay. What we can do here? We can do like a if condition again. We'll just use a if condition here itself. If condition is empty. Okay. Just listen carefully. Is empty. Okay. So what we will do? So here row of 0 not to string, okay, dot c dot trim. We learn about the trim, right? It will trim if it's having the space. Suppose for example here it's showing that it's empty, right? So maybe it may have a spaces. Okay, it may have a spaces, and also we don't know how many spaces are there. Okay, so if you just simply put like a equal to double quotes, if it is equal to double quotes, so it may not match because it has a spaces. It's not a simple empty, it's not having spaces, and also you do not know how many spaces are there. We can't predict, right? We can't predict like a, so simply one space, maybe another cell may have a second space or third space. We can't like to do coding for all the number of spaces, right? So what we can do, we can use a trim method. Okay, trim will remove the empty spaces. Okay, trim will remove the empty space. So now we have empty space. Let's keep it as it is. We have it looks like a empty. Here is a no spaces. Here the spaces are there. Let it be. Remove, save, close. So trim will remove the empty spaces and it will give the like this equals to empty. The value is equals to empty. Then here we can do the, otherwise what we can do, we can just assign the value like a var var update value, or we'll do one thing. Okay, if it is empty, directly we will update. Okay, so this thing is copying this value and paste here. So directly it is empty, but we have to update. We'll update the no data. That's what we have to update, right? Okay, we'll update. So now is it fine? So it will work perfectly or not? Just type in the comment box. Now it will work perfectly or it may throw error or something. So first it will check if it's empty, then it will update the no data in that cell. If it is not empty, it will go an else condition and it will do the normal work only. Okay, normal regular work. So regularly it will convert into the integer and update and go to the corresponding if condition and update the var, update status. So finally update the right excel. Got it. So this logic, whatever you are seeing, this logic will throw exception or not. Yes or no? Just type in the comment box yes or no. Will throw exception. If it is a throw exception, just type yes. Otherwise, type no. Yeah. So so we are updating the empty cell, right? See here. So if it's empty, we are updating the empty cell. That's not a problem. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm in mute. Okay. So now are you able to getting my voice? Hello.
Yes, Sudhir.
Okay. So see, it is updated. Got it. The no data is updated, but what will happen? It's updated after that. Sir. If that particular row is updated with the no data, then do we need to execute this again? The next things and all. Do we need to check for that particular record? Okay. These things are not required, right? For that particular record. Okay. Next record we require. So that's why we just use a continue in the for each row activity. Okay, there is a continue activity. Let's drag and drop in the if condition. So basically, what is the continue? So what is the continue? In the for each row, each and every row, it is going to execute the whole code, right? So if so, in this situation, once we update that Excel the empty cell with the no data, we don't need to process the remaining part in the body, right? In the for each row, this body is not required. Let me collapse all the things here, collapse all the things so that you can understand much better. Okay, see what I'm saying is if we updated, if it's empty, we updated the Excel and we don't need to check again this process. Okay, this process is not required, right? Because if again it will come to here, it will show the error like a unable to convert into the integer. Okay, so that's why we will just use a continue activity. The continue activity will continue for the remaining process. What is the continue? The continue activity will go for the remaining rows, remaining iterations. It won't execute the below code. Got it? So first row, first row, just imagine the first row comes. First row comes, right? It will go here, it is not empty, it will go else condition, execute these all the things. Okay. Next row, do the same thing. All the rows do the same thing. Here it is empty. So it's empty, then go to the then block, execute the right cell activity and click on the, here is a continue. It will continue in the sense it won't continue these parts. It will continue further for the next iteration, where in the for each row activity, just see here, where in the for each row activity, for each row, we're going one by one row, right? So don't understand, okay. Okay, so this is a for each row activity. Okay, for each row will loop each and every row, right? Each and every row. First iteration, second iteration, third iteration, fourth iteration, fifth iteration, like that. Okay, so do you understand that, Abhishek? For each row, the purpose of for each row is go row by row. Okay, first time it will go here and execute all the code which is there in the body. First row, for first row, it will execute all the row, which is all the code which is there in the body. It will execute for the each row, right?
Right.
Next iteration will go here, right? Next iteration will go
Yeah.
here and execute each and every row, whatever there in the body, it will execute. Okay,
Mm.
each and every row. But here, so what we are doing is here, first it will execute, next it will execute, next, like that, up to the completing the body. It will execute the each and every row. So the thing is here, let me name the numbers. Okay, here is the first step. This is the first step. This is the second step. Okay, in the body we have a steps. Okay, second step is the third step. Is the fourth step. Please listen carefully here. Fourth step and fifth step. It will update the data into the Excel. Okay. How many steps are there in the body? 5 steps we have. Okay, so each iteration the 5 steps will execute. Okay, so what is the purpose of this for each? So we have to check this one and update this value. Okay, so if the value is greater than this all the conditions we covered. If it is a number, it has to go to the all the conditions, but so either one is matched. So suppose, for example, if 28 is there, so it will go under this block. So if it is go under this block, it won't go to the remaining blocks. Okay, either one it will execute, right, in the if conditions. But what is initially we are checking if this is a empty. If this is a empty. Got it? This is a empty. We're updating that cell itself here. So whatever we have to do in the bottom, we're updating the cell itself here. Okay. If you just keep it without continue, what is the purpose of iterating the each and every row? Checking here, update the status. Checking the TP value, update the status. Checking the TP value, update the status, right? So that's why, so it checks the TP value, it is empty, it is updated the value equal to no data, but here itself, in the if condition itself, it's updated, the purpose is satisfied, but we don't need to continue further, right? We don't need to check, we don't need to convert again.
But that
So
is also part of that
code
for each loop only, na? That assign activity and the rest is also part
Yeah,
for.
2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a part of the body only. Okay. So what is
Mm.
the requirement? Just think about the requirement. Okay. So if the first number one is a satisfied, so we updated the data. Okay. The purpose is satisfied. we don't need to go for that second step and third step and fourth step and fifth step. Okay, the one thing is you can keep everything in the else condition. Okay, else condition. Got it? This is the one way of coding. Okay, what we'll do, if it is a check empty, it will update here. Otherwise, it will go for the number conversion and go for the all the iterations. Got it? That means iterations in the sense if condition, it will check for the less than 2. This you understand? This do you understand?
Yeah, yeah, Sudhir.
Okay. So what we are doing here, so let's do the outside. Okay. So without if condition, that means else. So instead of you drag everything in the else condition, so what we are just saying to the robot, so if this is a satisfied, so if it's a, after this then condition, don't execute the remaining body. Okay, remaining, but don't execute the remaining body. The 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't execute this remaining body. Go for the next iteration. Go for the next iteration. This iteration. Okay, understand? To say to the robot, if it is empty, it is satisfied, it is updated, right? In the then condition, we're just checking, saying that continue means continue for the next iteration. Don't
Okay,
execute
okay.
the remaining part. Okay, first part is done. While going to second, third, fourth, and fifth, so we're saying that robot, so don't continue remaining body, continue, don't execute the remaining body, continue for the next line, that means next iteration, this iteration. Got it? That is called
Mm,
continue. Okay,
okay.
we'll just get the clarity here itself. Okay, continue. This is a requirement where it will continue. So for all others also, you should get the clarity on the continue and break activity. So just continue. So let us try to remove everything and save. Okay, I'm closing this Excel, run it. So it is satisfied the no data. So no need to go for that, right? So no, now it is a not going here. Okay, that's why it is not getting the error. Do you understand? Otherwise it will go, it will get the error. Again, unable to convert the string to integer, it is empty, right? Right, so it is not coming in this case. Wherever it is empty, it will satisfy, and it continue for the next iteration. It is going to continue for the executing for the remaining body 2, 3, 4, 5. It ignores that iteration and that iteration. Okay, so this is a very important continue. They will ask the continue, what is the continue? See here, it continues for the further. Got it? It continues for the further if the no data. So now this is a one way to code. This is one requirement. Okay. So the another requirement is like so if they ask so just update the status. Update the status one by one. Okay. Wherever it is empty, just stop the bot. Okay. Stop the bot in the sense don't continue. Don't go for the don't update for the remaining process. So wherever it is empty, so the whole Excel is having the issue. What we can do, we can just update this no data and stop the loop. Don't go for remaining iterations. Understand? This is another requirement. Okay. How can we do? We can use the in the same place the break. In the continue place, use the break. The break activity is there. Just drag and drop break. Okay. Break means, so if this condition is satisfied, it will stop the to execute the remaining iterations. Okay, it will stop the, it will come outside of the for each loop. It will come outside of the for each row activity. Okay, let us try to run. Here the requirement is like if any cell having the empty, then stop it, don't go further. Okay, that's what here it is stopped, it's not executed for the further. Got it? That is called break. Okay, so based on the requirement, we have to use this type of activities, break or continue. Okay, continue will continue for the next line. Okay, next line. We won't execute the remaining body, but it will go for the next line. So break will break the data, that particular line. Suppose if I give the log message here, my question is, so if I give the log message, will it execute? This log message will execute or not? It will execute or not? Log message. It won't execute, right? Uh, uh, Kodeshwarao, will it execute? If this is a satisfied empty, then it will write and will break. Break means after break, nothing will execute. Okay, nothing will execute. Okay, after break. So what about the continue? If I give the continue, now just tell me, will it execute this log message? No, 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 man. So after continue also, it won't execute. Okay. After continue also, continue is the last step in that iteration. Okay. It won't execute. So it will just continue to continue. So immediately, once from this step onwards, it will go for the next iteration. That's it. Okay. It won't execute this log message. How it won't execute this? Again, all the steps in the same way. After continue or after break statement, nothing will execute in that particular iteration. Iterations in the sense that particular row. Understand? It will continue for the next line. Got it? It will. So this is a part where it will break that particular line and go further. Got it? So break also it won't execute, continue also it won't execute, because that is a ending point for that particular line. So the break and continue decides whether we will go for the next lines or not. Okay, a simple statement here, listen here. Okay, a simple statement is, so break and continue will decide whether we will go for next iterations or not, that means next rows or not. That is the purpose of the break and continue. So here the break and continue, whether we will go and execute the next rows or we will break from here itself. Okay, if you use a break statement here, it won't go further. If you use a continue statement, then it will go, it will just ignore the remaining part of the body for that particular row only. The continue method. Okay, so the purpose here is a very simple logic, but if you not understand, the names will give the more confusion. Okay, so the continue, if you use a continue, after continue within the body, if any code is there, that code will not execute if you use the continue, that code. Got it? That code, but it will execute for the next lines on the body. Okay, that is a continue. If you use a break, that remaining code will not execute and remaining rows also it will not execute. Okay, if I use the break here, okay, remaining code also will not execute in the body 2 3 4 steps, and it won't execute the remaining thing, I mean remaining rows also if you use a break. Okay, do you all understand the continue and break? If you have any doubts, let me know, I will re-explain, no problem. Okay, because this is a very important, and also people ask in the interviews what is the difference between the continue and the break. So if they ask what is the continue and break, the answer is like a, if you use a continue, so it will just skip the remaining part in the body and will go and continue for the remaining rows. Okay, remaining iterations. That is the answer. So if you use a break, it will break immediately and it won't go further for the remaining rows, and it will come outside of the loop. Break will come outside of the loop immediately wherever it is, and continue will not come outside of the loop, come outside of that iteration only. Okay, it will go continue the remaining iteration. Got it? Do you all understand? Just type yes if you understand. If you have any confusion, just let me know. Immediately here itself, we will get the clarity, more clarity. Okay. Okay. Because it is an interview question, so they will ask in interviews what is the difference between the continue. Not only interview questions, it's a better to, I mean, so while we are doing based on the requirement, we will use this break and continue. Okay. Now for each and so writes all these things and all we learn, and this is the if condition. So basically, why we came here, because the conditions. Where is a block? Yeah, here is the conditions. The conditions has a if conditions. So if conditions, if has a three blocks. One is a condition block, then block, and else block. If the condition is true, it will execute the then block. If the condition is false, it will execute the else block. Okay, so then we will do the same thing here by using the, let us take another workflow. I'm just taking the flow chart. Okay, TP value update flow chart. Okay, flow chart, and just use the same read range. I'm just copying from there, copying from this read range here, read range, and create a variable. Now we have a variable. This is for a flow chart. So now we have a variable called data table. So okay, so you can have a if condition flow decision. There is another activity called flow decision. So by using the flow decision also, you can use the that will make a conditions like that. But the flow decision in the sequence, these are sequence, right? You can't able to drag the flow decision here. You can't able to drag the flow decision. The flow decision only used in the here in the flowchart only. Here data exists. Rows greater than 0. There's a rows greater than, this is just display name. It's not condition, it's a display name. Okay. By seeing itself, we can understand. So how we have a display names here. So one hyphen these things and all. The same way we have a display names. Here the condition is like a flow decision. If the condition is true, it will go to the true block. If the condition is false, it will go to the else block. Okay, so first initially we're checking if the data is there or not. Okay. DT rows dot count is greater than 0. Okay, so data table dot rows dot count. So write down in the notebook. So data table dot rows dot count is greater than 0. So if it is a greater than 0, if it is a not greater than 0, that means there is no rows, right? So what we can do, we can just put some log message, okay, drag and drop here, and log some text like a no data in the input file. Okay, in the else block, if the data is there, what we can do, we can iterate. Got it? We can iterate. So here in the iteration, so I'm just taking that this row number, row num. Okay, I'm just taking the row num, that is an integer. Row num is equal to 0. We taking the idx, right? So in the same way, I'm just taking the row number that initially that is a 0. Row num. Okay, 0, that is an integer. Okay, here just check flow decision again. If it is a true, that means if the data is there, what we can do, we will check if the row number is less than rows dot count. Okay, what we are checking here, so row number is 0, right? Is less than DTTP.rows.count. Okay, suppose for example, what is the rows.count? Rows.count is here. What is the rows.count? 12. Okay, so here 0 is less than 12. We're checking initially. Okay, 0 is less than 12. So now do you understand, right? So here we're checking whether the row number is less than row count. So if it is not, again use the log message here. No data. There's no data. I just typing that there's no data to process. Okay, now go to the then block. That means if there is a data. So suppose for example there is no data to process. So let us if it's a 0, right? 0. Then what we can do? I'm just creating a one more variable called TP value. Okay, value. And again this TP value is a TP value is integer. One more thing, so let's look at TP row. Okay, TP value. This TP value is like a string. Okay, initially it is a string. Okay, now so here in this true block, where it will go? So if there is a records, so then we will go and do that like this. What we have to do? So use the assign operator. Just go and connect here. You can adjust. DP value equal to, that is a string, right? See now there is a dt row dot. So what I'm just trying to do is without for each row. I'm just trying to do is without for each row. Can we loop using the flowchart? That's it. Right. Okay. So suppose TP row dt underscore TP dot rows dot 0, right? 0 of again of TP value. So what is the value here? Just type in the chart window. What is the value? See, DTTP is nothing but a entered data. This is the data. Okay. DTTP.rows.0 will represent here. DTTP.rows.0 TP value will represent here. Okay. The value is a 28.9. Perfect. Okay. So if that is the same thing here, if I give TP value 6, what is the value here? See, just imagine row is starts for the 0. What is the 6 value here? This value, the value here. What is the value here? Just remaining people, no data. Why no data? 78. Why 78? See, 0, this is a 0, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it? So it will start from the 0. Ramesh is answered first. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth row and TP value. If I type the same thing here, eighth row process. Just tell me here what is the value? What is the value this one? 2, 8, 289. Why is the 289? See closely here. Whatever this cell, you have to observe closely. Cell, okay? The cell has the row 8. Just go to the row 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we are in the row 8, right? So what is the column name? Is the TP value or processed? It is a processed, right? This is a processed. The combination, this one, where it is matching, this highlighted one. Do you understand? Gopi, you're saying it's a 2289, right? Some people they said the 2289. Got it? So the combination is like just mathematics, okay? Okay, this is S. Whoever say S, that is the correct. Okay. Now let's remove the same everything. So I think you get clarity. Okay. Now what we can do, dttp dot rows of, it's not 0, so we already have the row number, right? Row number is always 0. It is the initial stage, so we're just giving the row number, or we can just do the same thing here. Take the same value, and copy paste here. Instead of this 6, I'm just giving the row number because it will increase, right? It has to increase. Okay, so that's it. Dot to string. So now initially it is a 0 at the TP value. It will come into the, this 29 will come there. Okay, 29 will come there. The 29 will come there. Here, what we have to do? We have to check if the value is. We have to check if the value is. Let us check here. Value is empty. Okay, the value is empty or not. So what, how can we check? The TP value is dot to string dot trim dot equals, right, empty. So if the value is empty, then it will go here. Value is empty, you go here. Just use the some, what we have to do, we have to write cell. Right cell also, I'm just copying from here. Right cell, if the value is empty, what we have to do, so right cell, just drag here, right here, updating the value, empty value. Okay, update no data. So within this, what is the problem here? So row index here, instead of here there is no index idx, right? Here what is there? Row number is there. Row number is starts from the 0, right? Row number, that's it. The first part is done. There's no confusion here. So up to now, do you have any confusion up to now? Okay, let's go from the starting. Okay, we get the data in the read range. The data table is there. We're just checking the data table dot rows dot count is a 0, greater than 0 or not. That means whether the value data is there or not. So here you can just saying that, so there is no data. Okay, so here once it is a data is there, it will come here. Again we're checking the row number. The row number is a 0. 0 is less than the whole count is there or not. Okay, if the row number is increased to 19, suppose if the row number, this row number is now 12 is there, right? So if the row number is increased to the 12, that means 13. Just imagine row number is a 13. So the 13 is less than the 12, that is a false, right? Then it is a, you go to here, that means no data to process. That means all the records are processed. Then the data is there, initially data is there. So what we are doing, just storing that into the one string variable, TP value. That value we are checking if it is empty, we are writing into the right range block. Okay, So once it's a right the
Sunil,
block.
I have one question here. Like in assign activity, we use a row. In that row num and another parameter we take there here. Yeah, row num and the second one TP name, TP value. So so there row num is showing the row and TP value is showing as a column, right?
Yes, yes, yeah. Yes, we need
If
the column, this column only, right? This column only. That's why we give the this column name.
only row would be there, row one, then it will be that second column only. Like row zero is starting, or like there would be no column there. Like only row one would be there in simply row one. So that will be considered as processed.
Mm, not understand. So see, row, you're saying there is no data, right? You're saying there is no data.
So I'm
This is what
just
you're
telling
saying.
like if we want to iterate in a loop with row one uh, instead of row zero, if we want to iterate with row 1, so that will give us the second column value, right? That process column value we will get rows if because
No,
it
no,
starts
no,
from
no,
0
no.
and x.
No, no, no. So how it is? That's what here you just already. I mean, give the results, right? So if you give the
Yeah, this
process, then only it will
yes.
give the process column. Okay. If you give the process only, okay. If the row is a zero, the first bracket is see, first bracket is represents the row. Next bracket is represents the column. Okay.
Column, yeah.
First bracket always 0, 0, 2. If it's a 1, the first and the column. If you use the column as a process, then you'll give the processor value. If you use the TP value, then you'll give the this value.
My
What is
question
the
is like
question? Yeah.
TP dot data table dot rows we are doing here, but my
Mm,
question is that suppose in Excel data is there, so we need
mm.
to iterate in second column, not the first column. In first column, we give row 0 and then iterate. So if we need to
No, no, no,
iterate
no,
in
no. See, row 0 means it is a not column, first of all. Okay. So you are saying row 0, if you give the row 0, it will iterate the first column, right? Understand?
yeah,
Row 0 means first column or first row. Row 0 means first row or first column.
first row would be there.
First row. If you give the 1, it will iterate the second column, right?
Second
Yeah,
row.
second row.
Then see, it is a second row. It's not second column. Got it? Okay. This will represent this row only. So if you want to go further, so here you can give the 0. Okay. Suppose 0, 0, 0 means first column, first row, first column. 0, 1 means first column, first row, second column.
Second column.
0, 3 means the 3 means first row,
Third column.
third column, right?
Third column.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
two means third column, 1 means second column, 0 means first column. Got it?
Yeah, but I'm telling like only that TP dot rows I am not saying. Only rows one. Like for each loop we are going now, for each in data table, and then in body we are giving rows 2 value only I want, rows 1 only value.
Here this row is different. Okay,
Yeah,
this
that
row
one I
represents each row. Each row. Here you are in the for each activity. Okay, for each
yeah,
will give directly row of 0. Okay, row of 0 means 0 row. It's already row. This row
yeah.
simple in the for each row. This row represents. So here it is a row means the entire row. Here this whole thing is replaced by the row. The whole thing, see here, row. Row of 0 means this will give the first column. Row of, okay, that is different. Okay, this
Mhm.
whole thing is replaced by the row, because we are in the for each row activity. Here we are not using the any for each row activity. Got it? The for each row activity inside the body, the row represents each row. First iteration will go here, next iteration will go here. So if you have already row, the data row, that data type is like a row. Okay, if you have already row, then the next step is finding the column for that particular row. That's why you are giving the row of 0 will come here, row of 1 will come here. Okay, row of
Okay.
2 will come here. Got
Got
it?
it.
So but here we're not using any for each, so we're just directly playing with the data table itself. Okay,
Within the cell
directly
of that.
playing with the data table, this whole data
Yeah.
table itself. The dt underscore tp is the whole data table. So within the data table, okay, we have to tell to that which row first of all. Okay, which row, for each row it already having the that mechanism. Okay, the row represents it is a single row each and every iteration. But here we're not using any for each row activity. That's why by using the data table itself, we're just telling that this row, go to this row. Okay, this number, row number. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay. Yeah.
after that
Got it.
again telling the column number. Okay, got it?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, here if it's empty, we're writing into the writing the data into the here. Okay, now once we write, okay, once we write it is empty, then what we have to go, where we have to go again. So we'll do one thing. So we'll just take this entire thing. Here, let's increase the value. Okay. Here, row num equal to row num plus 1. Okay, we're just increasing the value. Increasing the value. So here, once this work is done, it has to go to the next iteration. That's why we're just connecting here. Okay. So first it is a row equal to row equal to 0, right? 0 equal to 0 plus 1 1. Okay, and it will check whether the row is 1 is less than count. Okay, 1 is less than count, then it will, it's a true, then it go here and it is taking. So here we'll just use some -1 here, -1, because in this point the row is always first start with the 1 only. Okay, 1 minus 1 0, because the rows all starts with the 0, right? 1 minus 1 0. Again it will go and check the 2. Okay, 2 minus 1 1, like that it will iterate from the starting. So now we're taking, so to take the first value. So if the first value is empty, then it will write the that it in the no data, and again it will go here and increase the value into the 1. Then go here, check here, but it's again empty, go and write the no data, and the again check, increase the value by 1, go to the next. This is the next row. Okay, first it will go here, check it is empty, update the no data, it is empty, no data, it is empty, no data. Okay, that part is done. That part is done. Okay, if you just execute this one, let us see if it's execute. So wherever it is a no data, it will do that part. See here, let us open this one. Why it's not updating? Okay, so it's not updated. Yeah, let us fix that one first. Okay, first of all, yeah, it's not increasing. Okay, wherever it is go to the false block, it is not increasing. Okay, so false block, if it's a false block, I'm just connecting to the same thing. There's a false block just to increase the row number. Okay, false block, that's why it's not executed. Let's try to run. So this logic, whatever we build the logic, this logic is covers only the empty rows. Okay, first it will just check empty, then it is empty. It will try to update. See, it's updated. Got it? It's updated. Wherever it's empty, it's updated. But it's updated in the next line. Okay, next line, because the initially it starts with the one, right? The row number is starts for the one. So what we can do here while writing cell, so instead of 2 increasing 2, we'll just use a 1 here. Okay, I'm just let me remove this one, and I'm just removing the some more value also. We have a 2 empty data. Okay, 2 empty data. Let us try to run this whole workflow. Now just check. Now we are dealing with the empty data only. Okay, not see empty data. Wherever empty is there, it is updated the corresponding column. Wherever empty is there. Got it? Okay. Now let's remove this part and try to code for the remaining things. The remaining things. Let's do the remaining things. The remaining things is this one here. Okay. So let's remove here. Okay. If it's not empty, that is this part, false block. If it's not empty, so what we have to check? So we have to check flow decision. Flow decision. If it's a flow decision. So if it is a what is a, we have conditions, right? We'll complete the each and every condition. Okay, less than 10, less than 10. Okay, the condition is a less than 10. If the TP value, that is a string, right? C int, I'm just using the C int. TP value is less than 10. If it is less than 10, what is the value? So what we have to do? Use the assign operator to just assign the value. If it is less than 10, then use a var update status. Var update status equal to what is a too low. What is a less than 10? That's it. If it's empty, it will go here, and if it's a less than 10, it will go here, and that's it. Okay. Now again one more rotation. If it's a false, if the false means if it's not less than 10, it's greater than 10, right? So then the execute the next step. Okay, is less than 10 and greater than 10 and less than 50. Okay, that is a decision. Okay, here C int of TP value is greater than equal to 10, and C int of TP value is less than what is it, 50, right? 50 is a low. It's a low. Okay, then do the same thing here as an activity. Where update status equal to low, right? Is it low? Yeah, it's low. Okay, so it is again okay. It was again one more thing. One more thing. Just check again here. What is the next one? Next one is a greater than 50 and greater than 50 and less than 100. there is this condition. Cint of TP, we can just convert that initially, TP value greater than equal to 50, and Cint of TP value is less than 100. Less than 100, that is a what? So again, just update the value. So what normal? Where status? Okay. See, the one small thing is you have to keep in mind. See here, so instead of copy from the cell, copy from the address. Okay, if I copy from the cell, what will happen? What will happen here? Just copied from the cell, double quotes, and pasted. Okay, it is not showing. It's a pasted, but it's not showing. So what will happen? Why it is not showing? Let's open this one. These are normally people do mistake. Okay, because it is in the down, right? It's a enter also, it's pasted. So what we can do, once we do the double quotes and paste, control V, just press backspace. Okay, go to the first line. Okay, normally they will just think like, why it is not pasting. Okay, from the cell it is pasting in the above and the cursor is waiting in the below. We are able to see only the down cursor. Okay. Okay, now it's a normal. Then do the same thing. Greater than 100. Greater than equal to 100 and less than int of TP value is less than, was it 700? I think 700. Okay, so we can just use the same condition also. Instead of greater than, use a greater than here, greater than, greater than. Like this. This is just simply the name. Use as an operator to just check whether. No need to give this kind of arranging, but it is better to arrange properly. Okay, so that you easily can understand. This is a high. Okay, the last one. The last one is like a. Last one is like a. If it is a less than 50 and greater than 50, in that itself it is a greater than 700 only, right? I think that itself is a greater than 700 only. Let's try to do the same thing again. So here int of TP value is greater than equal to 700. Okay. So now that is a one more assign operator. Where update equal to high. Yeah. Okay, this is a whole thing. So after that, so what we can do, we can just, we have to, it's a for one single line, right? One single iteration only. So what about the again the next iteration, it has to move, right? It has to move for the next iteration. So for that, what we have to do, again we have to connect to the at the top level. So first of all, we updated this one, updated this one. So and I'm just using the sprite range again. This write cell. Okay, we have to write cell for the all the things, right? This is another way. Okay, so once it is updated, it has to write cell here, and here inside that, instead of no data, I'm just using the where update status, where update status. Okay, here this will come here, and this one also come here. Okay, this one also come here. Let me just zoom out. After this, all are connected to the, after updating, all are connected to the this write cell activity. Okay, all are connected to the write cell activity. Also, we can connect this one also to write cell activity by updating that is a empty. That's the best, right? So we'll do a small change here to the no data, and this one remove your no data. Okay, connect this thing also. This just tag here, liquid like this, so that this one come here, this one come here, this one come here. Okay, arranging the logic. That's it. Okay, connect this into the right cell activity. Okay, now this whole thing again you have to connect to the initial part here. Yeah, this is this logic. So let me explain this from the starting. Okay, first of all, again I'm just please listen carefully here. So again I'm just saying that's what we done. Okay, read range, we taken the entire data into the data table, tp underscore dt underscore tp. We're just checking whether the rows are there. If it's not there, it will just go and update the log. So if it's there, just it will update the row number equal to row number plus one. Okay, increasing the row number. So this output also, so after ending the process of one record also, again it is coming here and updating the row. So this row number increase always every time. So up to where? So up to this part it will update. Okay, this is a 12, right? So after 12, if it is a 13 row number is a 13 greater than less than 12, will go and exit the loop like a, so write the no data to process. If it's a 0 or 1, then it will go here 1, and we are just taking the first value from the data table. The data table dot rows of the row number, it's a 1, right? 1 minus 1, 0. The first row it will come. In the first row, the column it will come into the TP value. The TP value we're checking if it is empty, you update the var, nothing, a very simple program. We're just updating the status, var update status variable, we're updating the no data. So if it's a not empty, then we'll go here and check. If it's a greater than less than 10, it'll update the too low. Again, it will go here, see here, update. So if it's a less greater than equal to 10 and less than 50, then it's a low, update the low. So again, it will go to the false block and check. So check here, false block. If the greater than or equal to 50 and less than 100, then it will update the, what's that, normal. Okay, then here it will update here. Right, you can understand here. Okay, so what is this? This is I think panel, this properties panel I will hide. Okay, now what is this here? Greater than equal to 100 and less than equal to 700, it's a high. So greater than equal to 700, then it's a too high. So then the false block, we just keep it empty. Okay, we don't need to do anything because everything we covered, so it won't go to the false block. Okay, then here, see here, every assign operator is connected to write cell. The write cell activity, we're just updating that where whatever status variable is updated, that variable we updated in the C row of row number +1. Okay, that's C we are updating here. And again, we connected this last part where we connected. Just see the selected line where we updated, we connected to the again the starting. So it will iterate each and every time. So when it will execute, once this if condition is false, it will go and exit the block. Okay, let us try to run. So we have a data, we don't have these all things, and yeah, click close, run it. Okay, let us see here. See, it's updated everything. Got it? Everything. So what happened? It is left at the last thing. So why it is left at the last thing? Because the condition here, the condition where this condition is not less than, it is a less than or equal to, because it's a 1, right? Give the less than or equal to. So less than or equal to means first it is if it is a 0, we can give the less than. So it's a 1 starting initially, it is coming with the 1, right? So if it will go to the, suppose these are 12 rows, right? 12 rows, so it will go 12. 12 is less than 12, that's why it is a skip the last row. Okay, so if you use a less than or equal to, it will do that last line also. 12 equal to 12, it will do, then the 13 is just skip the last. Okay, that's why just remove this data and save and execute again. This is another way we can do the condition based kind of things by using the flow decision. These are all the flow decisions. So just compare here this one and this one, this sequence, and the which one looks good. Just see here the sequence if condition or the flow decision. Just type in the chat window which one looks good, flow decision or if condition. Just check open here. Flow is looks good, right? So that's why it's see here the last row is also connected. Last row is also updated. Okay, which one looks good? The flow is always looks good and also readable and also easily we can understand. So so if you code, okay, so you are handing the whole code to the someone else, and he or she can understand easily neat code, right? See, it looks like a easily they can understand. So what is the flow is going on. But in the if condition, normally if condition both are doing the same thing, but looks like it is a, so that's why if your that is another interview question they will ask. So when you use the sequence and when you use the flowcharts. If your requirement has involved a lot of conditions, okay, if the requirement involves a lot of conditions, so we have a lot of conditions involved right here. Okay, which is the best container you have to take? The flowchart, right? The flowchart easily, without going to inside, you can understand easily what is a flow, right? That is a flowchart. And one more thing we can see the same way, single if. Okay, now we done the decision flow also. Decision flow, decision, there's a decision flow. That name is a decision flow. So let us see the single if in the same by using the same thing. We can use a single if. I'm just taking the data range, if condition, and for each row activity, in the for each row, so remove the set condition, okay. See here, this is a single if. Okay, we just take in the read range, and within the for each row activity, we're just taking this value. Okay, so within the for each row activity, I'm just taking the value, this one. And this is also another variable. Let's create variable. Okay, so here we have a index also. You just create index also. Variables we created. Okay, for each activity, within the for each, we have a, what is it? So why it is showing this? Okay, so var tp value is a, with the var tp value is integer, var tp value is a string. Here string is index is integer. That's it. Now, okay, so what we can do here, okay, row of 0 we take into the string variable. Now the whole if condition we will fit into this one. Okay, whole if condition. I'm just using the annotation just to read, that's it. Okay, if condition, suppose var value, var update status, this is also not required. Let it give var variable. In the assign, we just use a single assign variable. In the assign activity, this closely observe single activity. Okay, in the assign activity, if bracket open, okay, so var tp value dot to string dot trim dot equals empty, then okay, so if it's empty, no data. Okay, if it's not empty, data. So there is a data available. Okay, so this is a if condition, single if condition. This if condition, the first part is a condition, the next part is a, what is that, true block, next is a false block. Got it? Next block is a false block. So what is our syntax? If condition, true block, true value, false value. Okay, so if suppose 1 equal to 1, so if I type yes, comma, no, so which one it will print? Just ping in the chat window. The last one. So which one will execute? The value assigned to the S or N? Yes, right? So because the 1 equal to 1 is a true. 1 equal to 1 is a true. So first block is what? True block. Next block is after comma false block. So do the same thing here. Okay. So we will execute this part only. This part only we'll see whether it will update in the single line, right? Single line. Just open this Excel Open this Excel. Okay, it's empty, right? Okay, let's execute. So just simply it will update the if it is a data is there, data available. If no data is not there, it is saying that no data. That's it. Okay. Robot ran. Open this Excel, and here you can see now the status is a wherever the data is available, it is a data is available. Wherever the no data is there, no data. Right. This is single if. So this satisfied. But what about the remaining part? Instead of data available, we can just use the remaining conditions in the same part. Okay. The then block or else block, you can do the same thing. So take this this condition here instead of this, just remove instead of else condition. Again, I'm using the if block. Okay, if block in the else condition. Again, in the else, we're just using the if condition. So less than 10, right? Less than 10. Okay, use the C int of var TP value. So that's the var TP value. Okay, so is less than 10, then block. Comma means then block. This is a child if condition in the else block. So then it is a too low. Otherwise, again one more if condition. Okay, so here this if condition, if C int of var TP value is greater than or equal to 10 and var C int of var TP value is less than 50. Okay, so then what is that? Then low. Okay, again this is a true block, right? This is a true block. True block. C int. Why it is a coming back this much if condition? If condition. This is a condition. Okay, if condition is not closed. Okay, if condition. So I'm just giving the condition of this and low. Again another if C int else condition. Okay, var TP value is less than or equal to 50 and C int of var TP value is greater than var TP value is less than 100. So then that is a normal. Okay, so else condition, again if condition, C int of var TP value is greater than or equal to 100 and var TP value C int of C int of var TP value greater than less than 700. Okay, so that is what that is the again true condition high. Again comma if condition C int of var TP value is greater than 700, then that is a high, right? True high. Then remove brackets. Okay, so again if it is a empty, make it empty. Like close for this if condition, like close for the next here we're using the bracket. Okay, here so when I close the bracket, the opening bracket is highlighted. Just see here, opening bracket for this one, opening bracket for this one. Okay, opening bracket again, this one again, this one again, this one. Okay, see here we have a proper conditions. So this is a if condition. Again, we have another if condition. Let's see here. So this whole thing up to here is else block for the parent. Okay, else block for the parent. So this whole if this is a else block for the next line, right? Okay, so make it here. Yeah. This is a single if. So you're writing the if condition in the single line. Okay, and just for understanding, I'm just making that as a different line. So you can just make it as a single line. Okay, now let us try to execute here. This one execute this last step. Okay, status is not there. Save it and run. So one single assign activity. Let's run it. The status column is not updated. Now it will update the status column. See here, open. Now it's updated properly, right? Got it? Okay. This is like a if condition. So if condition has okay, 1 second. You all understand? So this one. So we done the same project. So in different three different ways. One is a simple if. Okay, that's called a single line if condition. Okay. Okay, see, single if means in the assign operator itself, you are just writing the if condition. If condition means if can. So what is the difference between a single if and these two ifs? Because single if is only used to get the value, single value. Okay, so because see here, if you see, so at the executing of all the things, we will get achieve only single value, right? For that situation, you can use a single if condition, not for multiple things, right? So multiple things means if this if condition is true, not only the assigning value, you have to do something else in this part. So in that situation, you have to use the if condition or decision flow. Okay, that is about the conditions. Just practice the same. Go to this code and analyze. Do you have any doubts in this condition part? We'll see on Monday next part like a switches. There's a switches. Okay, switches on flow switch is there. For each loops are there. For those things we will cover in the next class Monday. Do you have any doubts in this single if and flow decision and if condition? Hello, brothers. Do you have any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can just speak now. Do you all understand this single if? So simply to use the simple things, you can use this one. Simple things, simple values. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. So have a great weekend. So we'll see. We'll connect on Monday. The same link. Okay. Please practice more. So practice is very important. Practice more. So whatever the exercises we saw in the last few days, just complete that exercise and submit. Thank you very much. Happy weekend. Bye.